Did you know that work-life balance is actually an illusion? Let me tell you why. Hey everybody, my name is Jennifer Waters. I am the Sales and Systems Sensei. I help martial arts school owners in particular scale their dojos towards 7 figures with the use of our systems combined with their passion, which achieves our purpose together to change lives in martial arts. And what we're going to dig into in today's video is all about the illusion of work-life balance, why we're striving so hard for it, how to actually achieve it, and what it's going to look like on the way there. All right, so let's dig in. Work-life balance, I would say, when you're trying to build a business, is an illusion. Think about this. When you have a baby, right, you know that the first 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, 2 years, you're not sleeping much. That baby has just interrupted your world. You're going to be getting up in the middle of the night to feed that baby. You're going to have to change the baby's dirty diapers. You're going to have to make sure you really stay on top of any health issues that come up, because they can be pretty dire if you just leave them alone and you let them fester. When that child is a baby, that child takes a lot more energy, effort, and keeping eyes on it, right? So you know as a parent that those first couple of years are going to be very out of balance. You're not going to have as much time for your spouse. You're not going to have as much time for your friends. You're not going to have a whole lot of time to even go out just for fun, because you can't take the baby to participate in things that you might do with a 7 or 8 year old. So think about your business the same way. When you first start trying to grow your martial arts business, and it's very small, and I want you to think about number of students and think about it in terms of like weight of a child, right? So if I've got 10 students, think about it, a 10-pound baby, right? If I got 10 students, in order to grow this thing and get this baby bigger, I've got to feed it, I've got to nourish, I've got to make sure that I am thinking about and taking care of, and if anything happens at all, I've got to make sure I'm right there beside that crib, making sure that baby's okay. And so my work-life balance is going to be mostly work and hardly no life. And that's where a lot of school owners are like, I thought that having a business was supposed to make my life easier because I'm going to be earning extra revenue and money, and I can get rid of my part of my full-time job and I can just do this. And I just want to make sure that you're very aware that when you're trying to transition from I have a full-time job and I have a part-time, martial arts business I'm trying to grow, you need to understand you're going to have to do your full-time job, and then you're going to have to come home and take care of the baby. And all you're going to do is work, eat, and sleep. And that's it. And it's going to be like that until that baby grows. And until you put in the infrastructure there inside of your business, it's going to be the exact same thing. So don't get confused on your way up there, right? Like, you're getting that school up to 100 students, right? Well, you still have to take a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of care there, but you may not have to work quite as hard on it as before, because now maybe this is your full-time gig now. But what I would tell you is that instead of trying to lean so much on this work-life balance, just tell yourself the next 5 years, all I'm going to do is I'm going to eat, I'm going to sleep, I'm going to work, and I'm going to get this business to a level where it can sustain itself. So then I can go off, I can take a vacation if I want, I can take a day off if I want. I have people who can teach classes. Oh, Jennifer, that's too long. 5 years? Okay, if you have no business experience, none at all, and you're working a full-time job for someone else, you're working for them. You don't own a business, you're working for them. And then you operate and you start a business. I need you to understand there are things that you don't know that you don't know, and you're going to discover it. So with that being said, if I have in my mind 5 years of grind, if I know I'm going to spend this season in 5 years of grind, then I can reap rewards later. It's much easier mentally if you get there before the 5. If you get there in like 3 years and you're just busting at the seams, awesome. Kudos to you. Go take a 1-week vacation and come back, or go take a weekend, or have an instructor teach a class. That's awesome. But when you have in your mind that it takes 12 months and then after 12 months you can relax and take your foot off the gas pedal, man, it is a rude awakening when things don't start working the way that you want them to inside the business. The next thing I want to just say is, like, you need to think about it like it's seasonal, right? So Your business has growth seasons, and in the beginning, you need to have a season of planting. And you're going to be planting and you're going to be tending and caring for this garden so that you can then reap the harvest. And think about this. When you reap the harvest, you have to sow again. Now, the first time that you take a field and you prepare it, if it's a raw field, it's never been planted before, the first time that you do it, it's hard. You got to till up that soil. You got to make sure that you put some fencing around it to keep the critters out of the field. I live on a farm, by the way, so this is kind of relative to what I see all the time out there on the farm. So you have to make sure you do all these extra steps. Now, the next year, when you go to plant, again, there's some things that have already been done, so it's not near as hard. And plus, you start remembering how you did it the other year, so it's easier. The third year comes along, it's the same thing. But seasonally, you're going through these cycles of planting, tending, caring, reaping. Planting, tending, caring, reaping. And so because if you think about it in a seasonal type of aspect, it's easier for your mind to wrap around this work-life balance. Then I need to achieve a certain goal by this time frame, and then I have to take a weekend off every month, or I have to take a 1 week vacation, or I have to be able to work on my business instead of in my business. And I just think that that's a horrible way to think about it, and it's setting yourself up for failure and not success. And listen, the last thing I will say about this, if you're trying to achieve work-life balance, who are you trying to achieve it for? Are you trying to achieve it for your significant other? Are they telling you, whispering in your ear, you're spending too much time on this, you're spending too much time doing this stuff and we're not seeing any results? Maybe that's what is happening. Maybe it's because you as a family, you guys are all in. You're like, yes, pedal to the metal, we're going at it. And then you have extended family who's like, well, you guys should be spending more time at home with the kids instead of spending all your time at the business. Like, are they living your life? Because if they're not living your life and you're happy with your life, why are you listening to them? Or maybe it's because you have other friends, other people that you see in the industry who've already been planting and harvesting for years, and you've got a little hint of jealousy there because they're able to go on vacations, they're able to spend time with their family, they're able to take a night off. You can't. All of these scenarios are real scenarios, and you have to understand that the answer is not work-life balance. The answer is to dive deep into what you want under the surface. So you have to know what you want, and then you have to get everyone else who matters to you on board as well before you take the deep dive. If they're not on board, and if they're not tucked away in that submarine and the hatch is not sealed, when you go under the water and you go for your deep dive, you're gonna drown. And so is the family member that you want to go with you. So you guys gotta be solid on this. And if you're solid on this, work-life balance won't be nearly as much of a struggle as it would be if you're not, if you guys are on two different sides of the coin. Guys, I hope that this was really helpful. If you need a mentor, somebody who can guide you through this process, who can help you potentially shorten those 5 years, 7 years down to a smaller level, who can help you and your significant other get on the same page about where you're going, make sure you visit sevenfiguredojo.com. And that way you can see exactly what we do inside of our program and see if it's something for you. Until the next time, guys, keep being awesome.